There is a candle that burns brighter than all the others. It fills the room with more light. It produces more warmth. People gather around it because something about its flame feels different, more alive, more real. But there is a cost that nobody sees. While the other candles burn slowly, steadily, lasting through the night, this candle is consuming itself at 3 times the speed. The same thing that makes it beautiful is the thing that will destroy it first. And nobody notices until they look over and see only smoke where the flame used to be. You are that candle, and you already know exactly what I mean. You feel everything, not just your own pain, but the pain of people you have never met. Not just your own joy, but the joy of strangers whose stories somehow become your stories. A song does not just play in your ears, it moves through your entire body. A conversation does not just exchange information, it transfers energy, mood, weight. A single sentence from someone you love can carry you for days. A single sentence from someone who hurts you can haunt you for years. You experience life at a frequency that others cannot even detect. And for a long time, you thought everyone lived this way. You thought everyone went home after a normal day feeling like they had run an emotional marathon. You thought everyone needed hours to recover from a simple social gathering. You thought everyone lay awake at night, processing conversations that happened 6 months ago, wondering if they said the wrong thing, feeling the weight of moments that others forgot before they left the room. But then you started noticing something. Other people did not seem as tired as you. They went to work, they came home, they had energy left. They did not need to lie in the dark just to feel like themselves again. They did not seem to carry invisible bags filled with everyone else's emotions. They moved through the world lighter, easier. And you started to wonder what was wrong with you. Why did you burn out after situations that barely affected anyone else? Why did you need twice as much rest to do half as much? Why did your body betray you with exhaustion when your calendar looked no more demanding than anyone else's? You went to doctors. They tested your blood. They checked your thyroid. They asked about your sleep. Everything came back normal. But you knew something was not normal. You knew you were running on empty while everyone else still had gas in the tank, and nobody could explain why. So you blamed yourself. You called yourself lazy. You called yourself weak. You pushed harder. You ignored your own signals. You kept burning at the pace everyone else seemed to maintain effortlessly. And you crashed. Maybe you have crashed many times. Maybe you are crashed right now. Maybe that's why you are here. Let me tell you what's actually happening inside you. Because this is not weakness. This is not laziness. This is not a character defect. This is biology. And once you understand the biology, everything changes. Your nervous system is fundamentally different from most people's. Not damaged, not broken, different, configured differently from the factory. Research has identified what scientists call sensory processing sensitivity. It exists in roughly 20% of the population, and it changes everything about how your body interacts with the world. People with this trait have nervous systems that process stimuli more deeply, more thoroughly, and more intensely than others. Where someone else's brain filters out background noise, your brain examines it. Where someone else's nervous system ignores minor emotional cues, your nervous system amplifies them. Where someone else processes an experience once and moves on, your brain processes it multiple times, from multiple angles, extracting every possible layer of meaning. This is happening constantly, without your permission, without your awareness. Your brain is doing 3 times the work of a typical brain, and it is using 3 times the energy. This is why you burn out faster. Not because you are doing more visible work, because you are doing more invisible work. Every room you enter, your nervous system scans for emotional temperature. Every face you see, your brain reads for micro-expressions others miss. Every conversation you have, your mind processes not just the words, but the tone, the pauses, the things left unsaid, the emotions beneath the surface. You are running a supercomputer on a battery designed for a calculator. Of course you run out of power faster. But there is another layer to this that nobody talks about. Deep feelers do not just process more, they absorb more. Your mirror neuron system, the part of the brain that allows you to empathize, is hyperactive. When you see someone suffering, you do not just understand their pain intellectually, you feel it physically in your own body. Their grief becomes your grief. Their anxiety becomes your anxiety. Their exhaustion becomes your exhaustion. You are carrying weight that does not belong to you, and you have been doing this your entire life. Think about what this means. Every sad story you have heard, every struggling friend you have comforted, every tragedy you have witnessed even through a screen, every tense room you have walked into, every angry person you have tried to calm, every broken heart you have tried to mend. You were not just present for these moments, you were absorbing them, taking them into your body, storing them somewhere deep, and they never fully leave. They accumulate, like sediment at the bottom of a river. You can function with some sediment, you can even function with a lot, but eventually there is more sediment than water, and the river cannot flow anymore. This is burnout for a deep feeler. It is not just exhaustion from doing too much, it is exhaustion from feeling too much. It is your nervous system drowning in accumulated emotional weight that was never yours to carry. And here's the cruel irony. The very thing that makes you burn out faster is also the thing that makes you help others more. Your sensitivity is not just a burden, it is what makes you the person everyone comes to, the friend who actually listens, the colleague who notices when something is wrong, the family member who holds space for everyone else's pain. Your ability to feel deeply is why people trust you, why they open up to you, why they feel safe with you. You have been a gift to everyone in your life, but nobody told you that gifts need to be protected. Nobody told you that the candle that burns brightest needs more rest, not less. Nobody told you that your capacity to feel for others must be balanced by permission to feel for yourself. And so you gave and gave and gave until there was nothing left. Let me tell you what happens when a deep feeler burns out completely. It is not just tiredness. It is a collapse of the self. The emotions that once flowed so freely become locked. You stop feeling the depths that defined you. The music that used to move you becomes just noise. The people you loved become distant, not because you stopped caring, but because you have nothing left to care with. You become numb. And for someone whose identity was built on feeling everything, numbness is a kind of death. You look in the mirror and do not recognize yourself. Where did the person who felt everything go? Why can you not access them anymore? Are they gone forever? They are not gone. They are buried under years of unfelt feelings, buried under everyone else's pain that you stored but never released, buried under the belief that your own needs did not matter as much as everyone else's. Your deep feeler is still in there, waiting for you to make it safe enough to return. So how do you come back to life? How do you stop burning out before the flame dies completely? The answer is not to feel less. You cannot change your neurology, and honestly, you should not want to. Your sensitivity is not the problem. Your lack of protection is the problem. You have been walking through the world without armor, and every emotion, yours and everyone else's, has been hitting you directly. The first thing you need is radical permission. Permission to rest before you are completely depleted. Permission to leave gatherings before you're drained. Permission to say no to emotional labor that nobody else can see. Permission to need more than others without that meaning something is wrong with you. You have spent your life apologizing for your needs, minimizing them, hiding them, pretending you were fine when you were drowning. That ends now. Your needs are not a burden. They are the maintenance manual for a high-performance system. Ignore them and the system breaks down. Honor them and the system becomes extraordinary. The second thing you need is boundaries around your absorption. You cannot stop feeling what others feel, but you can decide how long you hold it. When you notice you are carrying someone else's emotion, you must actively release it, not suppress it, release it. This might mean physical movement to shake the energy out of your body. This might mean time alone to separate your feelings from theirs. This might mean conscious rituals at the end of each day to put down what does not belong to you. You have never been taught this because most people do not need it. They have natural barriers. Theirs stay out automatically.
You do not have that luxury. You must build boundaries manually, consciously, every single day. The third thing you need is to stop measuring yourself by their standards. You have been comparing your energy levels to people who are running completely different systems. They are not processing what you are processing. They are not feeling what you are feeling. They are not doing the invisible labor that your brain does automatically. Comparing your output to theirs is like comparing a deep-sea diver's oxygen consumption to someone walking on the beach. Of course you use more. You are operating in a completely different environment, an environment nobody else can see. Stop expecting yourself to produce at their pace. Start honoring the pace your body actually needs. The fourth thing you need is to create before you collapse. Deep feelers are not just receptors, they are transmitters. All that depth of feeling is meant to go somewhere. When you only absorb and never express, the weight becomes unbearable. But when you channel what you feel into creation, into art, into writing, into music, into any form that lets your inner world become outer, something shifts. The emotions that were crushing you become materials you are building with. The sensitivity that was drowning you becomes the source of everything you create. You were never meant to just feel. You are meant to transform what you feel into something others can witness. That is your purpose. That is your relief. That is the secret to surviving in a body that feels too much. Finally, you need to understand something that will reframe your entire existence. You are not burning out because you are weak. You are burning out because you are rare. Your nervous system is not a defect, it is an older design, a design that evolution kept because the tribe needed someone who could feel what others could not, someone who could sense danger before it arrived, someone who could feel the pain of the group and speak it aloud when no one else had words, someone who could hold space for grief, for joy, for all the emotions that make us human. You were the healer, the artist, the oracle, the one who felt on behalf of everyone else, and that role was honored, sacred, protected. But the modern world does not protect its deep feelers, it exploits them. It demands their emotional labor while offering nothing in return. It calls their needs weakness and their boundaries selfishness. It burns through them and wonders why they keep breaking. You have been surviving a world that was never designed for you. And you've been doing it without any of the protections your ancestors would have received. No wonder you are exhausted. No wonder you are burned out. No wonder you feel like you are disappearing. But here is what I need you to know. You can stop disappearing. You can build the protections that should have been given to you. You can honor your needs without apology. You can feel everything without carrying everything. You can burn bright without burning out. The candle that lights up the room does not have to destroy itself. It just needs someone to shelter it from the wind. And now that you understand what you are, you can finally become that shelter. You can finally protect the flame that has been giving light to everyone else. You can finally let it burn at its own pace, bright, warm, sustainable, and beautifully, unapologetically yours.